Chapter 15. It was 2 minutes to midnight. Patty Greer, the nurse who had been trying to take Stu's blood pressure when he went on strike, was leafing through the current issue of McCall's at the nurse's station and waiting to go in and check Mr. Sullivan and Mr. Hapscomb. Hap would still be awake watching Johnny Carson and would be no problem. He liked to josh her about how hard it would be to pinch her bottom through her white all-over suit. Mr. Hapscomb was scared, but he was being cooperative, not like that dreadful Stuart Redman, who only looked at you and wouldn't say boo to a goose. Mr. Hapscomb was what Patty Greer thought of as a good sport. As far as she was concerned, all patients could be divided into two categories, good sports and old poops. Patty, who had broken a leg roller skating when she was 7 and had never spent a day in bed since, had very little patience with the old poops. You were either really sick and being a good sport, or you were a hypochondriac old poop making trouble for a poor working girl. Mr. Sullivan would be asleep, and he would wake up ugly. It wasn't her fault that she had to wake him up, and she would think Mr. Sullivan would understand that. He should just be grateful that he was getting the best care the government could provide, and all free at that. And she would just tell him so if he started being an old poop again tonight. The clock touched midnight, time to get going. She left the nurse's station and walked down the hallway toward the white room where she would first be sprayed and then helped into her suit. Halfway there, her nose began to tickle. She got her hanky out of her pocket and sneezed lightly 3 times. She replaced the handkerchief. Intent on dealing with cranky Mr. Sullivan, she attached no significance to her sneezes. It was probably a touch of hay fever. The directive in the nurse's station, which said in big red letters, "Report any cold symptoms no matter how minor," to your supervisor at once, never even crossed her mind. They were worried that whatever those poor people from Texas had might spread outside the sealed rooms, but she also knew it was impossible for even a tiny virus to get inside the self-contained environment of the white suits. Nevertheless, on her way down to the white room she infected an orderly, a doctor who was just getting ready to leave, and another nurse on her way to do her midnight rounds. A new day had begun.